Monday to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m.
Hey, you know what it is. It's your boy El Tito.
This is DJ Smokes.
This your boy Kid X in Tasnes Kontiri.
It's Miss Party.
It's Younger Chief. Please say the Chief.
You locked in right here with the driver's seat.
With the hip-hop mom, the awesome, the amazing, the incredible.
Lebang Kgosana.
On 919 FM.
Don't touch the dial, baby.
You're in the driver's seat with Lebang Kgosana.
All right, I've just played you Amazwe by Simi as well as Nkosazana daughter. It is 37 minutes past 4 and you're tuned in to the driver's seat with myself, Lebang Kgosana. Welcome to 919 FM. If it's your first time joining us, then welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. You're going to love it here. We are a feel-good station. We're all about the good vibes and the good energy. And speaking of good vibes and good energy, I am not alone in the studio. It's my favorite time of day because I get to hang out with somebody who I look up to personally. This is somebody who, I'll be honest, growing up in Joburg, you kind of know everyone, right? Because the world is so small. Everybody knows everyone. We all hang out in the same places. But you just see people from a distance. You may not know their names. You may not know their stories. But I'm so glad that life kind of has a way of just making things full circle, right? Because the person that I'm in studio with, I think I've known him for more than 10, 15 years. I swear to God. If you ask me
Thanks for aging
where
me.
where did I meet him? How long? I can't tell you those answers, but when you know, you know. So I'm very excited this afternoon to introduce my guest. MxBlouse is a Johannesburg-based rapper as well as an artist known for their genre-defying music that blends rap, electronic, kwaito, dance, so many different influences into their sound. Now, since 2017, they've released several critically acclaimed projects and singles, garnering recognition both locally and internationally. Now, MxBlouse continues to push the boundaries of contemporary music with their innovative approach and dynamic performances. Now, last year in October 2023, they were honored as Spotify's Global Glow Artist of the Month, solidifying their place as a leading voice in the contemporary music scene. I love it for you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the driver's seat.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, man, it's so good to have you here finally.
Yes.
Just to chat and talk about all your good work. Now, when I look at you, I think creative.
Okay.
Like the way you dress, the way you hold yourself, everything just says I'm a creative.
Yes.
Right down to the nails, like everything.
Down to my nails,
Right down to, I think the music thing is just like a layer.
A sprinkle.
It's just a sprinkle. So I know you as Sandy. I've
Yes.
always known you as Sandy in the entertainment industry, but now
Yes.
you are officially MxBlouse, the musician.
That's right.
When did you fall in love with music, honey?
Oh my God, I've always loved music. I was one of those kids that spent a lot of time alone. And music was my only friend, really. So I've always loved music. I've always wanted to do music. Going to white schools in the 90s.
Sure.
I tried so hard to get into music classes, but we were always being prevented, man, by those teachers.
Yeah. The haters.
By the haters.
Yeah.
So it never happened in school. And I kind of thought it was a lost dream, really. I worked in media and I got tired, actually. And I was like, I really want to do what I want to do. And that was the time when I decided, okay, I'm going to pursue music.
Yeah.
And I did it.
And you did. And here you are.
Yeah.
And you're really doing it. Like, you're not even doing it a little bit. Like, there's people that go, I want to do music. And they do it going, nah. And like, you see the bits and pieces. And then there's people that when they do music, you see very quickly and clearly that this is what they're meant to be doing.
Right.
And that's how I feel about you. I feel like you're definitely where you are supposed to be.
I feel like that now.
Yes.
I feel like that now. I think it's taken time to get there. Because, I've only been doing this for 6-ish years now.
Sure.
And it's been a lot of learning, a lot of, am I really supposed to be doing this? A lot of questioning and self-doubt. And all of, Yeah, 100%.
I know that thing so well.
And I think it's also taken time to find my voice in terms of what it is that I really want to be doing with the music.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who's satisfied with being an entertainer. I don't consider myself an entertainer.
Okay, even if you are entertaining.
Even if I'm entertaining, you know. So I had to to find a purpose for creating
Sure.
that doesn't involve entertaining one and doesn't involve being popular,
Okay.
doesn't involve all of those things that we perceive to come with music.
Nah.
I think for me, it's about creating from an honest place, and I finally found that. I didn't know what it was for a long time.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that for you. I remember there was a time, I think it was in 2021, I just started a new job at a production company, and we're doing a music show for Channel O. So it was my job to find young influential people that I thought
remember
were
that,
like
yes.
awesome. So I'm sitting there in the room all excited, like, Sandy's perfect. We're doing like I don't remember what it was, but it was just an episode of like young creatives that are pushing the boundaries.
Right.
And you were the first person that popped to mind. I'm like, guys, don't worry, I know who it is. And I hollered at you and I'm like, babes, this is what's happening, let's do it. And you were just like, no, Lebang, no, thank you for the offer, but I don't think I'm the person you're looking for. Here's somebody else who's probably
Right.
better off. And I couldn't help but feel like, why is Sandy not believing in themselves and their minerals? So for you to now bring up that it took some years and there was a little bit of self-doubt, I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Maybe at that time you weren't ready.
No, I think I remember that episode
Yeah.
very clearly. Actually, I thought at the time I wasn't the person for
Okay,
that story.
yeah.
But, I mean, because I'm a trained journalist and I have a journalism background.
Yes.
So when someone is doing something, I'm like, you need to get the best of what you're doing
Sure.
in terms of telling stories.
Yeah.
At that time, I wasn't really active, but I knew someone who was active, and I
Sure.
thought fit the bill for what you were looking for.
No, shout out to you because you put that person on and you put me on as well. They were like, wow, Lebang, you're so in tune. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I love it for you.
Oh man, I'm so happy. So how would you describe your sound? I mean, it's not one of the sounds where we can box it in and say,
Right.
oh, Sandy's a rapper or Sandy's a contemporary. It's so many
Right.
beautiful things that you have found a way to mush and merge into your own lane. You've created your own sound.
Right.
How would you describe it, and how has that variety, allowed you to create your own space?
Right. So, I remember when I first started, I was in studio with a couple of producers,
Yeah.
and we made the song titled Ispugu Pugu,
Okay.
which became very popular,
Yeah.
underground popular.
Yeah.
And on that track, I was really just being mad ghetto and just rapping. I mean, I'm from the ghetto, so
Sure.
just rapping, not really thinking about what it is that I'm doing or whatever. But what that did is that it taught me about mixing genres.
Okay.
And it helped me find my voice at that stage. And I became interested in kind of molding kwaito with rap and house music and kind of all the genres that I listen to.
Yeah.
And that experimentation is really what taught me to produce.
Okay.
Because you don't people didn't understand what it is that I'm doing, so I had to find ways of explaining and combining things. And yeah, so that was great for the time, but my message has changed.
Sure.
What I talk about in the music.
Yeah, as it should.
Yeah. I think at that time I was still in the club. I was still,
Ten
loving
up.
10 up,
Yeah.
loving groove,
Yeah.
but I don't groove anymore. So
Yeah.
the sound kind of changed because of that. I call what I do now homebody blues.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I'm not a singer, so I do rap, but I think of it more as poetry over R&B and lo-fi jazz-laced sounds.
That sounds so sexy.
Homebody blues.
Homebody blues. I like that you've identified that, you're at the stage of your life where maybe the club doesn't entice you in the same way that it used to.
Nope.
And that it's not just for you. I promise you, a lot of us feel that way.
Right.
A lot of us are like, we've been doing this for so long in Joburg.
Right.
Thanks, club, but we done now.
It's been cool, hey?
It's been
great.
cool. Yeah.
Let me hand the baton over to the next generation.
Yes. Let them do their thing, and they're doing it.
100%.
But that that doesn't mean that we as, creatives in our early 30s can't still explore and can't still, embrace this time that we're in of our lives.
100%. For me, the other thing, I work with a lot of people who are in their early 20s. Because I think it's important to touch base with younger people.
Of course.
That's how you find new things. That's how you learn new things. Because I think the older you grow, with music especially, you just like what you're familiar with.
And that's it. The end. Nothing
you
new.
like what you're familiar with, and that's what you stick to.
Yeah.
So, like, working with young people sort of challenges me to keep up with what they're doing.
Good.
And obviously bring it to where I am. And it's also been great to share what I know with the younger people that I'm working with at the moment.
You can learn from them, they can learn from
100%.
you. It's a win-win situation.
I think actually relationships fail when we can't learn from each other.
What is this, truth hour?
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on? I love it. Tell us more about the EP, Emotional Home. Now, I know that was, your first body of work that you were just putting yourself out there. Like,
100%.
This is me. This is who I am now. Whether you like me, great. But even if you don't, that's cool too.
Yes.
Y'all be safe though. So how was that process putting Emotional Home together?
It was really great. And it's so funny because Emotional Home happened. I was still trying to explore that house adjacent sound, rapping over house beats. It was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Sure.
But this was towards the end of last year. And I told Joshua, the producer that I was working with, his name is Drones. I was like, I'm actually not feeling this.
What?
I'm sorry. I think we were about 4 tracks in, and I was like, my guy, I'm so sorry. I'm not feeling this.
Sorry for all the wasted studio time.
So sorry for the wasted time. But I think I need to do something that feels authentic to where I am in life right now. I'm not at the club.
Yeah.
I am chilling and dealing with my emotions and actually learning how to adult.
Hey, that trap of life.
I think people think when you're in your 30s, you know what you're doing, you're an adult, and the truth is you don't. You really don't. So Emotional Home was really about growing up and understanding who I am outside of that. I'm always out at Groove, showing up at events and all of that. Who am I outside of that life? And what I found is that there's a lot of trauma that needed to be dealt with.
Darling.
And I learned about this concept called an emotional home, which is described as the kind of emotions that feel safe to us. It's not always good emotions. Sometimes being on edge, being angry is what feels familiar to you. It's not something that you do intentionally.
Sure.
But because it's familiar, you always just fall back to those
it's easy to fall back into it. If that's all you know, you'll 100%. Keep doing it.
Part of it, actually, when I was reading more about the concept, is that's the reason why people stay in abusive relationships. Because that's what feels like love to you, because it's normal.
Yeah. Truth
Can you
hour
imagine?
unlocked. That is so scary.
It's so scary. So I found that my emotional home is fear.
Okay.
Which I think ties into what you were saying earlier about you were not confident. I found that mine was fear. And these songs are about trying to deal with that fear and recalibrating my emotional home to be something else. Joy, love, and that sort of thing.
I love that for you so much.
Thank you.
The growth, honey. It is so evident that, you've taken the time to search within,
right,
to better understand yourself. And that's something that creatives should generally be doing, because to your point of being in Joburg for as long as we have, you identify very quickly with, I'm the party animal. I'll be at every club. I'll be at the Royale all the time.
Right.
I'm at,
and I was that
I'm
person.
at Baba all the time. Yeah, I know, because I was there too. We were definitely those people, but there's just something that kicks in when you start to seek deeper within yourself. Like, if I'm to strip away all of these things that I've built around me, what's left?
100%. It's a scary journey, but it's a very necessary one. And yeah, like I said, the music came as a result of that.
Yeah.
I think it also coincides with a place where I started feeling confident as an artist and understanding that my art is actually my way of life.
Sure.
The content is informed by what's happening in my life. So if my experience of life is limited to the streets, I'm not really digging deep.
Sure.
So it was a lot of grappling with what it means to have relationships with people, and not just thinking of people as a means to an end.
Exactly.
The first single I put out is called Learn to Love You, and in that song I'm talking about learning to love someone, because I think it's a process that we skim over. But at the same time, the song is about learning to love myself, because you can't love anyone else until you love yourself.
Hallelujah.
And your energies need to meet as two healed people. And so that's what that song is about. Learn to love you.
I'm feeling like I should be crying right now, because like the things you're saying, like I believe them so deeply and so wholeheartedly that it brings me joy to see you like this. Like you're just so emotionally mature. You're in a very good place.
I am. I'm still learning how to be. I mean, I think I stayed a kid for much longer than I should have.
Didn't we all?
I stayed a kid for much longer than I needed to.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just been a wonderful experience to. I always say to my sister specifically, my problems are exactly the same as last year, but the way I've changed.
Yeah.
So the way I see life has changed. The way I look at my problems has changed for the better.
Exactly.
To allow me to experience life more fully. So I'm in that place, and it's a joy. I'm learning every day.
It's beautiful. You're taking the power back, and now you're in control. You're in the driver's seat of your life, not in the passenger seat anymore, watching life happen. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I've noticed that on your social media, you kind of use your platforms to really say how you feel, which a lot of people just will never do. Sorry for them. But what I appreciate about your pages is that you don't mind really just being honest and open about how you feel about certain things, and especially the state of the South African music industry. Because coming from being somebody on the outside looking in, now you're on the inside, right? So obviously there's some challenges that you've experienced here, or maybe just revelations and things that you've discovered.
Revelations.
Many revelations. So what were some of the things that almost shocked you, really getting in as an artist and trying yourself out and being a person that supports everyone, and now you need the support and maybe you're not getting it.
Right. Yeah. I spoke about that in a post about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And what's been weird about that is that when I run into people, they seem to think I was attacking people. I wasn't attacking people with that post. What I was saying is that I feel like my idea of community is not what exists in our industry.
Sure.
My idea of community is not, we're at the party together every Friday. That's not community to me. Community is we show up for each other in different ways. That means if you have a show, I'm there. Obviously, I'm not going to be there all the time, but I'm there at your show.
When I can be, yeah.
If you have an exhibition, I'm there when I can be. But beyond even attending each other's shows or even sharing each other's work on social media, which is what community should be about.
Sure.
It's if I need a recording studio.
And you've got access to
some,
one, yeah.
Give me some references.
Yeah,
put me up,
Yeah.
And what I found is that a lot of the time when you ask people for help, it's always, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. And then years later, you're like, you never came back to me.
Sure, yeah.
What is that about? And I started thinking about really, what is that about? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. Like if someone asks me for help, I'll either tell you that I can't help you or give you that help. So I had to come to the realization, actually, maybe these are just not your people.
Yeah.
They have their people
Yeah.
that they are in community with.
Yep.
You're just a spectator at their events.
Oof.
So maybe it's time to build your own community
100%,
outside of that.
100%.
It was a sad realization for me because it's relationships that I thought I had been nurturing for years. To find that people probably don't see me the same way that I see them.
Sure.
But it's also helped me, that realization has also helped me to step up.
Yeah.
Step up do things for myself.
100%.
And I've also become very strict about how I work. The people that I work with understand that I'm really about this.
Yeah,
I'm not about sitting in VIPs at events.
No,
I
darling.
did that in my 20s.
For so long.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm really serious about the work that I'm doing. I'm really serious, especially with this album. I think there's a great message for people who are on their own spiritual and relationship journeys. And I really want to share that. And I want to work with people who are serious about that.
I love that. I love that.
So if you are about that other party that needs to happen, wearing this and that designer, we're not gonna get along.
Y'all be safe though.
My priorities are elsewhere
Yes.
now. And I think I got there precisely because of the treatment that I've had in what I thought were my communities. So something positive came out of it.
Beautiful. I think there's definitely a message in that. You know, eventually you will find your tribe.
You find your tribe, you
And
find your way.
Once you find your tribe and you find your way, though that family and that community that you create are not going to leave you. So it's not to say that everybody in the industry is like that. It's just a shame when for years and years I've been pouring into you, into your ideas, into your events, into your growth.
Right.
And now finally I've got the confidence to stand up and, you know, put myself out there. And I'm not getting the same from you.
Yeah.
If
It's
anything,
painful.
it's painful, but thank you so much for showing me that I can't rely on you.
Yes.
You've saved
Yes.
me years and years of this fakeness that
100%.
I thought that maybe we're riding or dying. Clearly we're not riding or dying.
Yeah, I mean, that's the heartbreaking part.
It is. Kubuhlungu vele.
Kubuhlungu, dog.
Hayi kubuhlungu, but kubalulekile.
Yeah, kakhulu.
Kakhulu, like you have to.
You know, I always say I'd rather I find the truth out about people early on.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm not about wasting time anymore. It's I know what needs to happen for me.
Sure.
And I want to take people with me who understand that. And I
Yes.
can also help them grow. I enjoy helping people grow, actually.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's a give and take.
It is.
It can't be just give.
Exactly. Yo, Gunin, we've been putting 100% into these relationships and getting 10% back. Those days are over.
Done.
It's done. Where can our listeners follow you on social media? Where can we stalk you? Where can we stay in tune with what you're up to and just really join this community that is so crucial?
Yes, I'm Sandy Blouse on all socials. So Sandy Blouse is SANDI, as in Sandy, short for Sandy. So blouse like a woman's shirt.
Yes, like a BLOUSE.
Yes,
like a blouse.
At Sandy Blouse on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere.
Love it for you. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
It's been so beautiful reconnecting.
Yes.
And next time we link up, let's do this again. Let's talk about where you'll be at that point, whatever music you've got, whatever's coming out,
100%.
you have our full support.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Lebang.
This was awesome.
Thanks.
I'm loving every moment of this show. Today's just been so great. I've got my news team on standby to give you some sports and some news. Go out there and support local music. What Sandy's doing is really, it's next level, and I think you should definitely be a part of it. Otherwise, you're going to see later on, oh, I should have jumped on. Jump on now.
Monday to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m.
Hey, you know what it is. It's your boy El Tito.
This is DJ Smokes.
This your boy Kid X in Tasnes Kontiri.
It's Miss Party
It's Younger Chief. Please say the chief.
You locked in right here with the driver's seat.
with the hip hop mom, the awesome, the amazing, the incredible.
Lebang Kgosana.
On 919 FM.
Don't touch the dial, baby.
You're in the driver's seat with Lebang Kgosana.